Another news update from our Naija gist. Watch till the end and do not forget to share, subscribe if you are on YouTube or follow on Facebook.
Tinubu's counsel wrote in that final submission, I understand that, anarchy can be interpreted in different ways, but I'll just take one more tweet of people that were trying to clarify Tinubu's win. This is from Pastor Okezie, who wrote, Tinubu got 25% in 29 out of the 36 states and FCT. Atiku got 25% in 21 out of the 36 states and FCT. Peter Obi got 25% in 17 out of the 36 states and FCT. Nigeria has 37 subnational entities, 36 states and FCT. Only President Bola Ahmed Tinubu met this constitutional requirement, 24 out of 36 states and FCT, and having the highest number of votes cast. He was declared winner and returned elected by the constitutional body, aka INEC. What is difficult to understand here? Dr. Abati.
Okay, a number of clarifications. I think people must refrain from reading headlines and from headlines jumping into conclusions. It misleads a lot of people because you see a headline in a newspaper, you see chaos, you see anarchy, you just conclude and you start talking. Courts of law don't take their decisions on the basis of public opinion.
You're right.
Even if the judges themselves are members of citizens. They act on the basis of jurisdiction and the rule of law. And at the highest level, the Supreme Court has its own original jurisdiction. And the courts exist also as modulators, as stabilizing forces, even as they discharge their functions under the Constitution. That's number two. Number three is that, the principle in law is that you must hear the arguments from all parties to a matter. In this particular case, you have the PDP going to court with Waziri Atiku Abubakar. You have the Labour Party going to court with Mr. Peter Obi. And if we just collapse what they were asking for, they're saying that Section 134 2B must be read to mean the reference to the Federal Capital Territory means that whoever will become president must score 25% in the Federal Capital Territory. And that Tinubu, having not obtained up to 25%, is not qualified to be president. Now, he got 19% in the Federal Capital Territory. Two, they said the matter in the U.S. District Court, that he had been indicted or convicted, whatever, and because of that, he should be disqualified. Three, one of the issues they raised was about Shetima, his running mate, who they said was a dual candidate, having been chosen as a senatorial candidate in his home state of Borno. Those were the basic three issues. So they gave their, they filed their defense, they called their witnesses, total of 14 in law. And the court gave counsel to Tinubu and the APC to submit their written address within 10 days. And that's precisely what, Wole Olanipekun, who is lead counsel to the APC and Tinubu group, did. And he just took all those issues raised by, the two major, the petitioners, one by one, and he debunked them. I tried to give a summary earlier on. He said, for example, Section 1342B, cannot be read disjunctively, that it must be read conjunctively, because to do otherwise is to misinterpret and misrepresent the intention of the framers of the Constitution. The basic principle is, what is the intention of the lawmaker, the framers of the law? What do they intend to say? It's for the court to decide on that. And Olanipekun provided his own defense, citing Section 3.1, which lists 36 states, Section 299, which recognizes the Federal Capital Territory as if it is a 37th state, and also Section 66 of the Electoral Act. And he said a community reading, that is what it is called, a community reading of all these provisions will prove the point that you cannot say because somebody lost in, didn't get 25% in FCT, then he cannot be president. And he provided precedents. The law, precedents, stare decisis is called. It's a major issue in law. Awolowo versus Shagari, Buhari's case, Abraham Adesanya versus, he gave all of that. Number two, He said the case of the petitioners is based on IREV and BVAS, electronic transmission. He said no, that can't stand, because in any case the law, provides for manual transmission, and that you cannot say because of electronic transmission is an issue. Number 3, he says the case that they are referring to in the US, that the evidence that is provided is inadmissible because it's not documented within our own jurisdiction here, and that in any case, nowhere in that ruling is the word fine used. So he took on all of these issues, and then concluded that the application, the petitions, amount to a crass abuse of court process, and that, it should be dismissed, it should be disregarded, and that in any case, he is confident that the job of the court, right, is to ensure peace, not to cause chaos, not to cause anarchy. And that given precedents that he has cited and all of that, it will amount to, causing chaos and anarchy. But people have taken that in a literal sense.
Yeah, so he
to mean
basically
a
said,
threat.
right.
But it's not a threat.
Right.
So people should go to the written address and read it and understand the context, instead of just saying, oh, Tinubu wants to cause chaos, he wants to cause anarchy.
So basically,
that's not what is
the
in the
job of the judiciary is not to cause anarchy, correct? That's really the bottom line.
Yeah, not to add more tension to the environment. And Olanikwekwe said, you need to see the context in which you use that
Absolutely.
phrase. And I don't agree with those people who think that it's a threat. A council, before the court of law cannot go in front of their law